Hey Stampin' Friends, Darlene with Darling Stamps, and here's this fun box of hope that is from our August and full of butterflies. So I am going to do a little piece by piece, and I'm going to use some different ways of techniques and tips. Normally I do alternates, which I will be doing, but kind of showing you how I got to that. So stay tuned. So Paper Pumpkin, if you're not familiar with it, is a subscription. You can skip it, you can just do one time, you can do it as a monthly basis, but it really is fun, kind of a birthday in a box. You don't know what it's going to be, even though we do have our sneak peeks, but it does give you all of the this one has a very large amount of supplies that came with it, and then it gives you step-by-step instructions. Even has a ruler. You can kind of do that, and then it goes through. So our colors this month are Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, Melon Mambo, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Potpourri. That's a lot of pops. Anyhow, so I wanted to, I'll be using this box. I actually got 2 kits this month because one of them I'm going to use as a beautiful display that shows in the front, where it's actually a box of hope, and it has the ribbon and the big butterfly, and that'll be a gift. But I wanted to show basically I want to use the negatives. So this is actually the negative pieces, and these are the pieces that came in there. So it's just a negative, and then I just popped out the butterflies. But I want to show you a little bit about using half your card. So the cut would be your 8.5 by 11, and you cut it at 4 the long way. You cut it at 4 1/4, and then you score it at the 5 1/2. So you still get your same card, you know, it just opens differently. So then once you score at 4 1/2, 5 1/2, right, half your card, then you're going to also score 1 inch in. So you'll get it, and you're going to fold it the opposite way. So there's your 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build this, and it'll be a little different just to kind of make it interesting, of course. So what we have is the butterflies. Now I've already gotten some of it out, but I've taken these pieces, and I've actually taken the negative of these little cute butterflies, those little butterflies, and I am taping or gluing these pieces behind here like this. So I didn't want a lot of busy, so I did the top butterflies, I had the bottom butterflies, but I took this piece which came together, took that and just cut that in that area, and I'm going to just do the side because I'll be covering this side. So I'm just going to glue this down and get a little bit of going on with the glue, and part of that is just to get some color behind it and not go over there. All right, so that kind of gets our butterflies covered here. This design, let me think if I have the name. I think it's Kimberly Robertson, just to kind of give her credit. All right, so let's do some building, because we need to, before we put this guy on, hold on just 1 second. All right, we're gonna get our ribbon. So this actually is Pool Party, and I am going to just put Pool Party on here. And once I have this down, holy moly, you know, sometimes after a week of work, your brain doesn't quite work the same. So we are going to use snail, because sometimes liquid, and I'm going to go across liquid glue, sometimes it doesn't stick as quick as fast. So this is our snail, but I want to do the glue on this side and on the side it's going to stay, just for strength. And then this I will put up so I can get that cut or into its ribbons or bow stage. Okay, there, voila. All right, so that's down. Perfect. See how that kind of comes over? So this will stay packed, and I want to get my bow in here. You know, it seems like I've moved closer. Just moved recently. Well, I can't really say that. Let me speak the truth. I probably have. It's been almost a year now, so it seems like it's been a short time, but it hasn't. But I'm closer to Utah, which means that I should get my boxes quicker than when I was across the country. But I don't. So anyhow, I have to kind of hurry and get my alternates out before the next month comes. Anyhow, I'm just wiggling down my bow so that I can get a little bit of a twist on that, and then I will get my tail of my ribbon cut. Okay, and that kind of puts that in perspective. Well, you know, some scissors, I have ribbon scissors, I have straight scissors. There we go. All right, yeah, when I was growing up, my mom had scissors that were for certain things, and boy, you did not use them for anything other than their purpose. Holy moly. So I kind of adopted that. Okay, so we have our pool party ribbon on our pool party paper. So we have glued that down, so now we have a little area. Okay, now with our colors, I'm trying to make sure that we first off get our white in here. Now I am going to use my pieces because I'll use this end, but I probably won't use this. So rather than using my white in my stash, I'm just going to use this. So in doing this, we're going to just chop this off and use that something else. And we are going to put, this is going to be a 4.5. So my paper won't go that far. Son of a gun. All right, so let's do it this way. And I believe if I do it right about there. I think I'm too long. Yep, I am. Just a fuss. Okay. I'm fussing with this because this is for real small jobs, which makes it nice when I'm on camera. Voila. Okay. But not when I'm trying to do something bigger than 4.5. I want to get my piece in here set before I kind of tuck this down. It's coming up just a little bit, but I wanted to tuck in my my base. And before I do that, I want to get actually this stamped, because the purpose of putting something in, when you stamp on the base, if you stamp on it and you mess up, you are stuck and you're not able to remove it. So I am doing that based on experience. I'm using Blackberry Bliss as my color. I love Blackberry Bliss. You know, you may or may not be aware, Blackberry Bliss was in color. Loved it. It's just a nice rich purple, and I'm actually checking my polymer to make sure everything is inked, because I'm not pulling out my Stamparatus, which means that by the time I get it down, I am going to get my ink all the way on. I just boo-booed, so we're gonna flip that. Ta-da! New piece. You get almost like almost a redo. Oh, I missed on my grid. If I use the grid, then I wind up being square. These are not from Stampin' Up. I got them at, I think, Michael's, maybe. And anyhow, it works out nice because it has lines in it, which allow you to kind of make sure you're square. Stamparatus is your friend, when you have extra time. Okay, so if I line this up, I can tuck it underneath here and get it right square with my card. Perfect. Yeah, so now I can get this down. I must have not taped well enough because it was coming up. So I will get my bone puller and get that down, and that way I have a strong surface. And now it has a continuum, and we're still going to be picky on this, you little stinker. Okay, put that here. Now let's work on the outside. So Bermuda Bay is one of the other accent colors that kind of matches a lot of the colors that are inside the kit. I have my piece, which is actually 4 1/4 by 4. That's our piece. It's going to go on the inside. And because it's going to be covered, we are going to make sure that we utilize the inside. If you've watched any of my previous videos, no one is going to know that I have an empty piece in here. So we're going to put this down right in here so I have an area around it and get that in. A lot of times I will use glue when I am assembling a card, primarily because snail was fine, but can be a little costly when you're trying to make massive cards. Okay, so now I have my negative piece. This will actually go, and I just noticed that my piece is sticking out just a little bit. So I want to make sure before it goes down, I don't have that exposed. Okay, and I've taken this just so I get my sizing right. So a little bit it came off the top and the bottom. And then this will go right in here. Okay. And because I'm going to be covering that, just give me a second here and it will be all better. All right. When I'm doing my alternates, I try to look on some of my things I've saved on Pinterest. And by doing that, a couple things happen. I am able to just kind of glean a layout. And that's really what makes a lot of difference, is the layout. All right, so now this is one of the other languages on it, but I really wanted to use the base as the color, the little marbling. And so what I did was I took one of these pieces, and I, using the back side, that totally covers the lettering, the word. Put that on. And it will stick out and kind of have a little bit of, there we go. So just like that. So it's a little bit sticking out here. And then this is one of the circles that came in the other past pumpkins with the gold on there. And I think with the bow, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of, I'm going to put my icky scissors, which are really icky. I have not cleaned them. I try to do that systematically just because they get really gross. But we are going to just plug right along. And this is double-sided tape. I got this at the Dollar Tree. Not Dollar General, Dollar Tree. It actually came in like a 4-pack. Totally wonderful. Double-sided tape. Gives them mounting without doing a lot of cost. Okay, then we're going to put this right in the corner so that I can get a little bit to show here. And then this will go right in the middle, covering our butterflies that we're not going to be using. And it covers that hole. There. All right, now we have a couple of butterflies that we are going to add. And just because we can, and I want to make sure that they bend up just a little bit, kind of gives it a 3D. And If I do it all the way down, then it kind of has purpose. Does that make sense? And my hope is that in using the pumpkin, that you can really decide that, you know, even negative pieces, which, you know, I'll show a little bit later as far as some other ideas, but it just kind of makes it nice. Once it's down, you can actually flick those little wings up just to get some more dimension, but it does make it nice to be able to expand the kit beyond what it came with. That kind of makes sense. And I think we're going to put this little guy over here. I was going to put it down here, but we need a little bit of color over there. There. Awesome. So there's our negative pieces, and I'll be right back with some other alternates. In Paper Pumpkins, every month they have envelopes, unless they're doing a treat box. And so this one actually has a design on the outside, and sometimes they're on the inside. But I wanted to show you first what I do to kind of maximize my envelopes is I want to open it up. This is the easiest way to do it. I'm just shaving off just a hair off of every single one, and then that actually opens up my envelope. And then I'm going to slice the this is the flap that you would close the lid with, and then we're going to split that. So let me just show you what I did in regards to the envelopes. This is actually an idea that came from Rachel Tessman. And so they, so basically this is the flap, and then, I'm sorry, this is the flap, and this is the two pieces. So you have the piece here and the piece here. This is the larger of the piece. That piece is on the inside, and then this piece will go up here on the top part, and then this little flap right here is what makes up this one. Kind of cool, huh? So not my idea, but I cased it. It's kind of like when you have something that you like, you do, and someone else has a great idea. You kind of just piggyback, and so it's a little bit different. And this is strategically, and I'll give you an example. This is strategically put because that's where the seam of the flap is on the envelope. But anyhow, this is the bumblebee new color we got. And so when you take your stamp, so this is the stamp set that came in the kit. So I'm going to show you how I do that to kind of keep that simple. But anyhow, so this is our hope, always hope, and then it has the inside. So anyhow, I did that, and then I did Bermuda Bay, and did the same concept, just changed the color around. And then this one was the other envelope, which had the different kind of design, and then I used that little hope sign right there. So that's the 3. And then the last one is kind of a fancy fold, and just taking the tomorrow that comes in the kit and do a fold, and you have the inside. So just using bits and pieces of the envelope. So that is that, and let's do a real quick. So I'm going to show you kind of how that works. So what I've already done is I want to show you a little bit. So I cut this wrong. So let me show you. So if I already have my piece, this was the pieces that I've already cut, but I cut my envelope wrong. So we are just going to bring in and measure this. So this is at, say 2, oh, it's 2. Had a little guard here, and it's keeping me from seeing it. But if I go with 5, then I can go with, okay, just trying to watch my see if I can get that right. Did I do it? Did I do it? I can go a little bit more. Anyhow, this is kind of the hunt and peck. You know, sometimes my other videos, I go through and I actually just show the samples or the alternates, because, you know, a lot of you know how to glue, you know how to do the basics, and it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to sit here and glue and cut and everything, because you guys know how to do that. It looks like my paper is going through. You know, I have this little itty bitty one that I'm trying to catch my, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Whew, goodness. It's just easier on screen to do that. So I'm going to try to real quickly go through and just kind of use a little bit of the elements in order to show you. Again, I cut it wrong, so that's how you improvise, is you make it work. Make it work. Okay, so now we got that, and now we're going to put this on the bottom part. And I tried to this is a little bit thinner, so I'm not going to use the glue. Glue will give me a little bit of a lip, like you can see it, and because more of this is going to be exposed, I want to make sure that I've got everything here, and I've missed. Shoots. Trying to get it cut before you did. Anyhow, so on our attention to detail, one of the things that I have tried to do is save time and bring some ideas. And this one just seemed really cool. And it wasn't my idea, but I thought it was worth sharing. And I didn't have this cut before. So I don't want it to be too, I wanted to have some border. And I didn't do. All right, you've seen all of my boo-boos all at once. Yeah. So we have had some really good weather. Now that we're ending up at the end of summer and trying to get a little bit of the last minute things done for church and potlucks and things like that. So, all right. So this kind of makes it nice, because on our other one, I actually split it so that it would be design here and design here. Now we're going to do the same side. Then this, and all I'm doing is when I cut those, they're the exact same, other than you saw I edited that. You see how this has the little seam? That's from the crease or the score line from the flap on the card. And I've already pre-cut that. And it's going to be, looks like, too big. So I got to modify it. But on our summertime, a lot of people are getting their last hoorah, but some people have actually had school, so it's not like they're just trying to get the activities done. Anyhow, on our, never fails. I was going to try to cut this off and not do anything for editing, but guess what? You're going to see all the boo-boos today. All right, so I want to get this in this little square, and all I want's a nice, or a small, I should say, small little edge. And so it's easier to kind of make that happen. There. All right, so let me show you on this stamp. We're just going to use washi tape. And when we do the edge of that, we're just going to close off so that we don't get ink. And let me just say, when you're doing this, well, sugars, now I can't find the edge, there it goes. Make sure that when you cover this, go outside of the lines, and I'll tell you here in a minute why. But when we're doing this, and I'm going to go ahead and use Bermuda Bay as my ink. That way, when I ink up my Always Hope, I can just not worry about getting my ink on there. But when you go farther, when you pull it off, you don't get it on your fingers. Ask me how I know. All right, and then we're going to put that just right there in the hair of the design. See? All right, and then let me get that washed. Okay, now we want to do it the other way. Now we want to get Always Hope covered. And the washi tape, I mean, you can use, honestly, you could use Scotch tape, which is okay, but it doesn't have as much stick. Like, it's not thick enough. I guess you could use masking tape. That would work. All right. And this is just, buggers. Here, I told you I'd do it, and then I pulled it off the wrong way. Whatever. All right, we're gonna go up kind of high because our top piece is kind of low, and we'll put that right where we can hide it with our top piece. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, now this will go right on here and cover that. And I want to get a ribbon around, and let me just show you what I do. This is the bumblebee ribbon, and I put a little bit in the back. Oh, never mind. I just was going to go a different way. Sorry. All right, let me go around here, cover that line, go around here, and then we will chop. I'm going to chop that way, and then I do slide it under. It's kind of what they call a fake knot, and I was going to do a bow, but I think we'll just do a knot to be on the safe side. Anyhow, but our weather's been good. We are sure keeping our prayers for Louisiana. My husband's from Louisiana, and they're having Ida, so we're just cursing it. Jesus' name, not going to happen. And yeah. All right. Now, there is a little bit of trick as well, because when you're putting this down, you want it kind of raised. And if I put it on here, I may miss my mark. So the easiest way is your icky scissors. And if you put one right here on the edge, and then this one will go right at the top here. All right, and that way, when I position it, I can make sure that I'm not only covering my words, but I am getting that in. So, yes. There. Very cool, huh? Very cool. All right, I'll be right back. So the box is something that comes really nice, little belly band that goes around it, and you can make the different aspects of the bow. But I actually did some glue dots to help that bow kind of stay in place. And then this piece comes as one piece. I split it and pulled it to each side, and then made room for that. So it kind of covers more of the belly band. So alternates, I made. I just used the Hope. This is the Seashells embossing folder. I used a Blackberry behind it. And then, of course, behind there, you can't see it because I popped it out and did that Taylor tag. Kind of did it kind of vertical with some of the dots on there, or the little embellishments. And then different kinds. This is actually the pieces of the French or different language, the bows. Cutting that up. And then I took the butterflies and everything, used the white side and glued that down. Used some of those Blackberry Bliss tailor punches for that, and then cut this. This was supposed to have been on the box, but I did it on here. That one. And then this one is what's on the kit. I just used different, I did a different butterfly on that. Then this one was kind of fun, just using the butterflies as a background, use the ribbon behind there. Then this actually is twine that was white that I just colored because it was too stark. Did that one. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's where it goes. All right, and then using of the strips that came in the kit, and you can see it's a butterfly here because I boo-booed. And then these little spots that same color that came in the kit. Then this one was a design from Rachel Tessman. It's just using the black as a base, the black Bermuda Bay as the circle, and then just gluing this to a black piece, and then I put a white border around it, and then the part that I cut out goes inside. Anyhow, so if you do not have a demonstrator or look at this as an option for getting into stamping without a lot of extra expense, think of this as an option. It is a great way. Thank you for those who have subscribed, and I would encourage you to subscribe more. I try every month, even with my late boxes, to get alternate designs out so that it gives you a lot of ideas. So I hope you enjoyed this. You have a great day. Be blessed, and keep praying for those people in Louisiana.